For what feels like forever, right? There's been one name at the top of the electric vehicle world, Tesla. The innovator, the disruptor, the undisputed king. But you know how it is in the world of global industry. No king rules forever. And what we're watching right now is one of the biggest upsets in modern car history. It's a story of how an underdog quietly engineered a total takeover. So, let's rewind a bit, back to 2011. This was the general vibe. When an interviewer asked Elon Musk about a Chinese competitor called BYD, well, you can see it right here. He literally laughed at the idea. To the big shots in Silicon Valley, BYD wasn't a rival, it was a punchline. Their cars, they were seen as kind of clumsy, knockoff designs, basically a complete non-threat. Okay, so fast forward to today, and that joke? It's not so funny anymore. That number you're looking at, that's how many more pure electric cars BYD sold than Tesla in a single recent quarter. Yeah, you heard that right. The company that was once laughed off the stage is now outselling the king. So the big question is, how on earth did that happen?
To really get how we got here, to understand this massive shift from a joke to a total juggernaut, we gotta go back. Because this isn't just a story about cars. Nope, it's a story about strategy, about survival, and about a completely different way of thinking about how you build things in the 21st century.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of the story. You see, Tesla's story is classic Silicon Valley, right? Tech visionaries, disruption, the whole deal. BYD, completely different. Its founder, Wang Chuanfu, wasn't a tech bro. He was a chemist, a former government employee. He didn't start with some grand vision for cars. He started with the thing that powers them, the battery.
And if you look at their timeline, it is just wild. Nothing about this is a straight line. It starts with a family loan. Then they totally dominate the mobile phone battery market. Then comes this clumsy, much-mocked jump into the car business. But the part that really tells you everything you need to know about this company, it's right here, 2020. That pivot, that's the key.
So 2020 hits. The pandemic shuts down the entire car industry. What does BYD do? They pivot. In just 2 weeks, they retool their factories and become the world's biggest maker of face masks, raking in over $500 million while their competitors were just shutting down. It's what some people call a cockroach entrepreneur strategy. When disaster strikes and everyone else runs for cover, you find a crack in the wall and just keep moving.
Okay, so that survival instinct, it's literally baked into the DNA of the company. But how did they turn that sheer grit into a product that could challenge and then actually beat Tesla? Well, it all comes down to their secret sauce.
The absolute cornerstone, the main ingredient, is this kind of nerdy-sounding concept, vertical integration. But trust me, this is the key to everything. While other car companies are basically just assembling a puzzle of parts from thousands of different suppliers, BYD decided, you know what? We're going to build almost everything ourselves.
So what does that actually mean? Well, BYD makes its own batteries, its own electric motors, even its own semiconductors. We're talking up to 80% of the entire car. So remember when the global supply chains totally broke down a few years ago? BYD just kept building. This insane level of control gives them a huge cost advantage and lets them innovate way faster.
And out of all those pieces they make themselves, one stands above all the rest, the absolute heart of their success, the battery. And this wasn't just a small improvement, it was a complete reinvention of how EV batteries work.
And this is where things get really interesting. Look at the difference here. On the right, that's a conventional EV battery. It's powerful, sure, but it's made with volatile stuff that can catch fire in a bad crash. On the left, that's BYD's Blade battery. It uses a much safer, cheaper chemistry. They have this famous nail penetration test, where they literally drive a nail straight through the battery, and what happens? No fire, no smoke, nothing. This one innovation solved two of the biggest headaches for EVs, safety and cost.
So now that they've nailed safety and cost with this amazing battery, what does that unlock? A totally killer pricing strategy. Think about it. Tesla was going after the premium market. BYD said, we want everyone. They put out super affordable EVs, and they mastered plug-in hybrids. Those are the cars with a smaller battery and a gas engine backup, which totally gets rid of range anxiety. All of a sudden, electric cars weren't just for the rich anymore. So they've got the tech, they've got the pricing, they've got a whole range of models. BYD was finally ready to step onto the world stage for a real global showdown with the reigning champ. And the results have been, well, staggering.
So let's put them head to head. Here you've got the BYD Seal versus the Tesla Model 3 in the UK. Price-wise, they're basically neck and neck. Now, the Tesla still wins on range, and most reviewers will tell you it's a more exciting car to drive. But they also say the BYD is more comfortable and has a more normal, user-friendly interior. So what's the bottom line here? BYD is no longer a cheap knockoff. It's a real, compelling alternative.
And if you want to see what that competition looks like in one single chart, well, here it is. This is the all-important European market. I mean, look at those numbers. BYD's year-over-year sales shot up by over 270%. In that same time, Tesla's sales actually fell. This isn't just growth, folks. This is a market takeover in progress.
Okay, so BYD has made it to the top of the mountain. But as anyone will tell you, staying on top is a whole different ballgame. The road ahead is packed with obstacles, and this race is far, far from over.
And it is not going to be an easy road for them. You've got massive trade tariffs popping up in the EU and the US, which see these cars as a threat. At the exact same time, the competition back home in China is absolutely brutal. And building new factories overseas to get around those tariffs, that's incredibly expensive.
So what's Tesla's move? You think they're just sitting back and watching this happen? No way. They're playing a different game entirely. It's not just about sales numbers this quarter, it's a long game. A huge bet on these moonshot technologies like full self-driving, humanoid robots, and of course, their massive supercharger network that nobody else has.
And that really brings us to the core question here, the big showdown of ideas. So who wins? Is it the company that has perfected the art of building great, affordable cars for the millions of people who need them today? Or is the real winner the one that's betting everything on creating the science fiction of tomorrow? The answer to that is going to define this entire industry for decades to come.